is mad. Hey!
I already asked you once, mister. Now put on your belt. It's not safe with all this turbulence.
But Mom, you should have seen the lightning. He's really mad.
What are you talking about? Who's mad?
God. Dad said that when a storm comes, it means that God is mad.
Your father had some interesting ideas. Especially about fidelity.
What's that?
Nothing, Pumpkin. Now you just try and sit still. People on the plane are trying to sleep.
Mom, where's the man that was sitting with us?
I don't know. He's been gone a long time. Maybe he switched seats.
I hope he's okay. He looked really old.
Mm-hmm.
And his clothes were weird. And he was stinky.
Toshi, don't be rude.
But Mom...
That's enough, young man.
He left his box here.
Mm-hmm. Toshi! What if I told you about touching other people's things? Just for that, I'm going to find the gentleman. I'm going to tell him what you said. That you thought he was old and weird. And stinky. And when we come back, young man, you will get a smack on your bare bottom. Now, won't that be embarrassing? Oh, dear.
Washroom.
I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going now.
It seems we have a situation. Broadband silence due to our current barrage jamming exercises prevents us from getting any collation on you. We can't confirm who you are.
You have my file.
That's right. Your file. This tells me that you are Major Abdullah Nahid, decorated officer of the Saudi Arabian Armed Forces. You joined at 18 years of age. Since then, you have received countless medals, citations, and honors. Late in your career, there are links to intelligence circles with mentions of the Mossad, CIA, and Quds. All of this achieved in the respectable time frame of 20 years. You look so young for 38, Major. What's your secret?
I fast. I pray. I have no guilt.
Well then, old boy, on that last count, I'm willing to call your bluff. Guilt is a necessary rung in the ladder of greatness. Bold men, men who choose to climb out of the mire of mediocrity, must live with the pangs caused by the echoes of unsavory action. You are in intelligence, Major. Those pangs should be like kin by now. I must say, I admire your consummate professionalism, Nahid. But there must be something you can tell us. Anything to put an old warhorse's mind at ease? The faintest of flickerings? I see. Colonel Mars, perhaps some assistance. He is one of yours, after all.
Yes, General Briggs. I can move to authenticate once the EM field drops. The database in Riyadh is current, so we should know something soon.
Not soon enough, Colonel. Not soon enough. We are due for a base-wide ad hoc movement. A Stanag has come down from on high, ordering us to cease all bombing runs and yield on the no-fly zone. Damn UN panty sniffers want to turn this into a civil affair. And I will not put my operational security at the mercy of a misfiring Arab adding machine. No offense, Primaz. As the coordinating authority, I need to feel comfortable in taking full responsibility. Every jeep, tank, plane, blanket, tent pole, and drop of peacekeeper piss in this sandblasted, queer-infested, godforsaken unit falls on my head. And since you were kind enough to signal your flirtatious intent from 2 miles inside the Iraqi border, I want to know who's fucking whom. And which one of us wears the condom.
You'll be happy to know, General. You are not my type. This is a misunderstanding. Please let me go to my unit.
My dear Major, you left me with little room to maneuver. The sand cannot be swept under the rug. We are, after all, in the desert. There will always be more. 40 years of service need, 5 major wars, too many weekend conflagrations to even recall. One develops a sense. A magnesium flare was sighted. An aeromedical unit was dispatched. The 2 lieutenants here found you in an awful state, dehydrated, screaming bloody murder, and sporting a self-inflicted knife wound to the wrist. This, as recent intelligence speaks of Muslim extremists plotting to launch a jihad against any and all Western forces in the region. Avenge the innocents. Death to imperialists. Butcher Western scum. You've heard it all before, I'm sure. Perhaps even spoken it. So look me in the eyes, Major, and tell me not to worry. Look at my men, Lieutenants Charles and Bravado, even your countryman, Colonel Bramaz, and ask what they would do. What's the Zulu, Colonel?
15:30 GMT, sir.
Fine. I'm going to my quarters. I shall sit and imagine the boys at home enjoying a nice pot of tea and a rousing game of cribbage. Major, you're in the custody of Colonel Bramaz. Like with like, I always say. It's the least I can do.
I will keep you updated, General.
Yes. Yes, you will.
I'm impressed with your command of English, Abdullah. Servant of Allah, that's what it means, yes? Do not fool yourself, brother. We serve only them. We eat at filthy troughs and suckle from bitter teats. Accept your lot. And pray for better days to come.
First the wind-up.
Good afternoon, Mr. Matthews. I trust you're feeling better?
Then the pitch.
It seems we have a situation.
I know why I'm here, you smug fuck. You mean the rolling blackouts?
No, Mr. Matthews, the grid should reset soon. Don't you worry about that.
Don't worry. The state is in crisis. Shit, the whole country sucks power like you on preteen dick. But you're going to tell me we have bigger concerns? Is that what you're going to say?
We have bigger concerns. There are those who say that everything happens for a reason. That each action is like a stone. Each stone is hurled into the cosmic ocean, making the smallest of ripples to its boundaries, only to return as great waves of reaction. Some would call this karma. I tend to call it something else. Socialist New Age bullshit. Men are responsible for themselves, Mr. Matthews. Their actions are felt by their peers and judged by those in authority. Judgments can reward the deserving man or punish a guilty one.
Here it comes. I've got the cigarette, don't even need the blindfold. I see.
I'm not sure that you do, Mr. Matthews. Miss Telfer,
Yes, Mr. Palmer.
could you please instruct maintenance to put the boardroom on the auxiliary line for the rest of the afternoon?
Yes, Mr. Palmer.
And Miss Telfer,
Yes, Mr. Palmer.
do you have the rest of Mr. Matthews' paperwork processed?
Yes, Mr. Palmer. And maintenance is switching you now, Mr. Palmer.
Thank you, Miss Telfer. We're here to discuss your future at Biocom, Mr. Matthews. That is why you are here. That is why your file is in front of you. And that is why, before we proceed any further, you are going to extinguish that cigarette. I don't tolerate distractions, Mr. Matthews.
Yes, sir. What about your pinstripe suit? Or your chump comb-over? Now those are distractions.
Do you like working for us, Mr. Matthews? Does the job satisfy you?
About as much as your mom did last night. Sure. No complaints?
I find that hard to believe, Mr. Matthews. Just look at your file. 15 sick days, 10 mental health days, 260 vacation hours, 4 weddings, 2 funerals. And last December, you took it upon yourself to celebrate both Christmas and Hanukkah. Care to explain?
So I like keeping my options open. So I want a life. Stop toying with me, asshole. Pull the fucking trigger. It was a tough period. I was having a crisis of faith.
The worst kind of crisis, Mr. Matthews. The very worst kind. I can sympathize. When the executives met to discuss staff reviews in the spring, imagine my shock at these discoveries. Not just the absences, Mr. Matthews, but the records of illegal material on your office computer. Pirated software, copyright violations, media of a sexual nature. And then there are the accounts of your more industrious activities. A crisis of faith indeed.
That's it, I'm fucked. TechServe shafted me. Management's been spying. Bet some code monkeys ratted on me. Now I'm being humiliated? You'll have me shovel up the shit in my cubicle barnyard stall and ship me to the glue factory? In front of everyone? Blacklisted, broke, ass-raped on severance? Homeless? Oh god. Chest hurts. Can't breathe. I don't know what to say.
There's nothing for you to say, Mr. Matthews. You're being promoted.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
It's the only reasonable course of action. These maverick behaviors from such a talented young man are the signs of an unchallenged mind. You are a pivotal contributor, with your recent work on tracking and tagging applications setting a shining example.
This isn't real. I can see the whole picture, but the edges are grainy. I can hear all the words, but they are hollow, submerged. I can feel my blood in trickles and rushes on veiny highways, pooling in my feet. I smell salt and electricity. Thanks.
Biocom rewards excellence, Mr. Matthews. That is why we achieve it. Miss Telfer has your salary and benefits particulars. I think you'll be pleased. And here is your first assignment.
I see the project's name, Lear Spec Silo, and the location typed underneath, and I shudder. I'm 12 years old, a stupid kid who skips 2 grades straight into high school. I should be happy, but I want to vomit. But that means I'll be working off-site? There?
Biocom has a budding partnership with the client. You will supervise modifications to the wet versions of our systems as outlined in the provided brief. The client, in turn, will assist in the final stages of our satellite network operation. By next spring, every city, town, village, and outpost, every mountaintop, marshland, ice cap, and desert plain will be blanketed by our network. Imagine. No children ignorant of the future. No man in morbid isolation. The zenith of techno-cultural synergy. Do you see the painting on the wall behind me, Mr. Matthews? It depicts an otherworldly emissary announcing the coming of a savior. Biocom is raising the trumpet, Mr. Matthews. And when it blares, a new world will emerge. And a better day will be there to greet us.